Hi everyone. Before I get on with my predictions for MCU films in 2020, first I'm going to cover what MCU films are coming out in 2018 and 2019 as well. So this year of 2018 we've already had Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War, but now we're going to be getting Ant-Man and the Wasp as well. So, fast forward to 2019, and the first film in the MCU that is coming out is Captain Marvel. Then it will be Avengers 4, and then it will be the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is confirmed for 2020. So, this is where my predictions begin now. I reckon the Black Widow movie will also come out in 2020. And then it will be a toss-up between Doctor Strange 2 or Black Panther 2. One of those films will most probably come out. Now, I'm going to draw your attention to something. Do you see this thing right here? It's called Marvel Rising Secret Warriors. Now, if Captain Marvel was a secret warrior, that would explain a great deal. Because, like, that is probably why it seems she's been absent from the MCU up until this point. Because perhaps she hasn't actually been absent, she's actually been living in secret. Or she's been doing secret operations or whatnot. So, I reckon we'll be getting Avengers 5, Captain Marvel 2, and Ant-Man 3 in either 2021 or 2022. And, I reckon, we'll also be getting a third Spider-Man film at some point as well. But, you know, I mean, even Thor 4 may still be in the works. So, Disney's acquisition of Fox still hasn't gone through properly yet. It's still in progress. So, X-Men Dark Phoenix is now going to come out in February 2019, which is just 1 month before Captain Marvel is due to come out in March of 2019. So obviously, Captain Marvel is made by Disney and Marvel Studios, because Disney own Marvel Studios. But X-Men Dark Phoenix is made by Fox. So, that being said, it seems like the Skrulls are going to be in both movies, but because these properties are owned by different studios, the Skrulls may look different in each film, which will be very weird, and it's obviously to make the films compete with each other, and that is why X-Men Dark Phoenix has changed release dates to 2019. Because previously it was going to come out in November of 2018. Of course, Agent Coulson himself is going to be in Captain Marvel, so that is going to be absolutely epic. Like, I don't get why Marvel would risk losing fans, but because of what happened in Infinity War, it's like they have risked that. Like, obviously I'm going to say spoilers now, so if you don't want to hear them, turn the video off. But basically, loads of people disintegrate because of Thanos and what he does with the Infinity Gauntlet. Including Spider-Man, Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, all of the Guardians except for Rocket and Nebula, even though Nebula doesn't technically count as part of the Guardians, because she's more of a villain. But, you know, sometimes she can be an anti-hero because she's against Thanos, just like the heroes are. But, you know, it's just like they just made those characters so-called die just to be controversial. I mean, to be honest, I think it's pretty much guaranteed that at least some of the characters are going to come back to life somehow, whether that be by them changing time or whatever. Like, by them, I mean Captain America and the other people who survived. But it's like, I don't know, it's like they just do things to deliberately piss people off. Like, oh, this is an ending, so we're going to lose fans, but we're going to gain new ones by doing this. Like, what do you hope to achieve by doing this? Like, are you just trying to go like the Star Wars route? Like, replace like the old fan base with a new one? Like, I don't get what Disney is trying to achieve by doing this. I mean, you have to remember that Disney own Lucasfilm, but they also own Marvel Studios. So say no more, really. I mean, the main reason why I think certain characters are going to come back to life is because you can't have a Doctor Strange sequel without Doctor Strange, you can't have a Black Panther sequel without Black Panther, and you can't have a Spider-Man sequel without Spider-Man. Unless they do like a random thing and just change him to Miles Morales instead of Peter Parker. I don't know what the fuck's going on, to be honest. I mean, like, there was rumours that Tom Holland was going to be in the Venom movie. But now, like, Spider-Man has basically been disintegrated. Like, I don't know whether that's going to happen anymore. Because, well, it depends whether Venom is actually in the MCU or not. And it also depends whether Venom is set before or after the events of Infinity War. Like, you can't have a Guardians of the Galaxy movie without the Guardians of the Galaxy, unless they do a film like based on the old Guardians of the Galaxy. They included Yondu and all of that. But, you know, it says on the cast list that Mantis is in it. Like, even though we saw her disintegrate. Well, like, even if you look at the cast list for this Spider-Man Homecoming sequel, it doesn't say anything about Miles Morales. It says Tom Holland's Peter Parker, see? But we know that animated Spider-Verse film is coming out at the end of this year with Miles Morales in it. But that film is not part of the MCU, as far as I know. Because, like, I think the Spider-Verse film is made by Sony, so it's like the same people who's making Venom, and, well, that Silver and Black movie, they're supposed to have Black Cat and Silver Sable in it. That's being made by Sony, but that seems to be put. I think that's been put on indefinite hold, though. So, you know, maybe that's for the best if they're going to ruin Black Cat's character. But I mean, like, Black Cat needs to have an alluring, sensual personality, like she does in the comics. I mean, her costume needs to be like it is in the comics. And, of course, like, there's going to be certain people out there who claim that they're feminists against, but really they're not, because they're going to be against the Black Cat costume, which is ridiculous because the Black Cat costume is really empowering. Okay, picture this epic scenario for a second or two. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Action Man, meets Marvel, meets Star Wars, meets Transformers. So we would have Autobots and Decepticons versus Triceratons and the Federation. Also X-Robots, Kree, Chess, Stormtroopers and Battle Droids. That would be absolutely epic in my opinion. Dimensions colliding. I mean, it's pointless people having this mindset that the MCU is over, because we know full well it bloody isn't. It's obviously carrying on because we have all of these films announced that are due to come out. Like, okay, so Infinity War was sort of an ending, but it was also a new beginning. Look, just think about it, right? We've had an Avengers film in 2018. We're going to have an Avengers film in 2019. Therefore, there won't be an Avengers film in 2020. That's logical. We're not going to see another Avengers film like after 2019, like until either 2021, 2022, or 2023. I mean, I think sometimes, like, people forget that these movies do have to actually be made. They don't just come out of thin air. Who knows? Eventually, I think they're going to let the Avengers rest for 5 years or 10 years. And they'll be focusing on other things like the X-Men and the Fantastic Four once they've finally acquired those properties from Fox. Like, but then eventually they'll probably do like X-Men meets Avengers meets Fantastic Four, whatever, that sort of thing.